Hello, my name is Karen Mullins, and I had no choice but to make a video on the email campaign, the service provider GetResponse. My experience with them has been absolutely devastating in so many ways, including financially. And so I just really wanted to share my experience. They stole $4,000 from me. And I want to tell you about it. So I am going to share my screen. I am a business owner. I have a very successful e-commerce website or e-commerce platform. I'll just show you my website quickly. This is not a promotion for my business in any way. It's just to say I have a very successful e-commerce business. I am a practitioner. I sell supplements and nutraceuticals. So nonetheless, I have well over 50,000 subscribers. So, it's not like I have millions of subscribers, but 50,000 is significant, right? I think it's like 55,000, something like that. I've been growing this business for 6+ years from the ground up. And I'm proud of that. And I'm proud of how many subscribers I have. So why did I go with GetResponse in the first place? Well, I went with them in the first place because my business was growing, and I have been with 2 previous email campaign providers, and I just felt like I had outgrown them. We initially started with my shipping platform to send out email campaigns. They have, not many bells and whistles, very straightforward, and it was fine. And then we moved elsewhere, and it was like, and so I saw GetResponse, and, they boast IKEA as their client, and this is their client, and that's their client. So I thought, well, surely this can't be bad. And they were a couple $100 cheaper than everybody else for the level of contacts that I had, 55,000 contacts. It starts to creep up towards, $1,000 a month when you have as many contacts as I do. GetResponse was a little more affordable. So I just went for it. Huge mistake. Oh my, huge mistake. Okay, so just to prove that I, gave GetResponse $4,000, here is my receipt, $4,368.96. This was the beginning of, or mid-October. So I purchased a year in advance, clearly, thinking, I won't have any issues. And you don't give a company $4,000 and think that in less than 2 months, they're just going to shut down your account for no reason whatsoever. Well, that's what they did. So I had my IT guy. So I lost $4,000. Well, hopefully I didn't lose $4,000 because I'm now in a lawsuit with them, right? My lawyer's involved. In fact, he just finished the letter. Here is my back and forth with my lawyer and the letter that he had no choice but to write. Of course, you pay a lawyer a pretty penny to write such things, right? So I'm in the middle of all that, a chargeback, and Bank of America is involved, and it's a mess. But I'm not going to be passive about this because they stole $4,000 from me, right? I mean, that's a lot of money. As a business owner, that's a chunk of money. So the first thing that happened was I paid my IT guy to transfer all of my contacts from my other platform, right? So he transferred over 50,000 contacts. As soon as he did that, they told me that my import list had been rejected. Now you can see here to the right, all of the emails. I just put them in my task folder so you could see them. This is actually only some of them. He kept trying to import the list in different ways, and it just kept saying, your import request has been rejected. Your import list has been rejected. We analyzed the list, and the quality doesn't meet our standards, is what they kept saying. Well, excuse me, but what the actual fuck, the quality, these are my subscribers. I mean, I've had almost 100,000 people purchase from me, and this is how many are subscribed. We've never had any issues whatsoever. So I tried to reach out to GetResponse when this first happened. And you can see this is days after I purchased my subscription with them. I tried to reach out to them, and guess what? You'll never get a human. You will never, ever get a human. A human doesn't exist with GetResponse. You have to email them. You can start a chat with someone who, you know, just don't waste your time is all I have to say about the chat. If you email them, the support, the emails will come back in at 2 or 3 in the morning. Why? Because you're talking to somebody, God knows where, probably India. That's when the emails will come through. So if you email support, don't expect to get a response if you're working in the US anytime soon. That response will come back at 2 or 3 a.m. And that is the extent of your communications with GetResponse. That's it. So they kept telling me my import list was rejected. Finally, my IT guy chopped it up into different files, and then all of a sudden it was accepted. Now why? I don't know. I can't make sense of that. Okay. So moving on. So I sent out my first email campaign and it did fine. It did, you know, the open rate was over 20%. And yet they came back and told me that, that it was unacceptable and that they were suspending my account until they did a list hygiene. Okay, well, let's rewind a little bit. Yes, even though it did I had an over 20% open rate, I later found out that 70% of the emails I sent out went to spam. Now, I didn't find this out till later. And so I contacted support and I said, all my emails went to spam. And they said, well, do you have your domain of your website integrated with GetResponse? No, I don't. Oh, okay. So I put IT back on the clock to integrate it with my domain. Okay, that's done. Great. So in the meantime, I basically begged GetResponse to unblock my account so that I can send out another campaign. The domain's now integrated. And so they did. Although they would not allow me to send out another one without a list hygiene. So what did they do? They chopped 40,000 of my subscribers, 40,000. I was left with not even 10,000 of my subscribers, all because the first email I sent out almost all went to spam. And even though it almost all went to spam, I still had an over 20% open rate. And they still chopped 40,000 contacts from my list. I mean, just absolutely crazy to me. Okay. So I'm left with 10,000 contacts and no choice but to keep using GetResponse because I had already given them over $4,000 the week prior for an entire year. And you will not ever get a refund from GetResponse. That doesn't exist. That's not a thing with them. It's stated in their policies and terms and conditions. They do not do refunds. Doesn't matter what, when, who, what, why, where, how, no refunds. Okay. And, you know, I mean, my story keeps going if you want to listen, but if you go to SiteJabber, you'll see these reviews of GetResponse. You'll see the real deal reviews of GetResponse. Do not recommend, no customer service, poor support, disappointing, horrible customer service. I'm writing this review to save people from my frustrations, tricked into subscription, scammers, buyer beware of GetResponse, terrible company, thieves, buyer beware, do not get ripped off, run from these thieves. I mean, the list goes on and on. Sorry, this is actually my review. There's the one right before mine. Where is it? It's right after. This guy had a really similar situation with me. He's in a lawsuit now, big company, bigger than mine, millions of subscribers. And now they're in a lawsuit because basically GetResponse did the same thing to them. They told them that their contact list basically wasn't valid and that their open rate was, and he goes in to describe it, their open rate went, as a company, went from 10 to 20% on Mailchimp down to less than 3% with GetResponse. Now, why does this happen? It happens because all the emails are going to spam, and they'll tell you that it's because you're not integrating your domain correctly, or that the domain's not integrated. The domain was integrated perfectly with my company and this person's, who has, you know, millions of subscribers. And I agree with what he says at the very end. He says, we moved to Klaviyo and our rates, open rates, are now close to 30%. I moved to Klaviyo as well. And I just want to tell you that if you want a dream campaign or service, email campaign, I don't even know what it's called. Go with Klaviyo. They're amazing. I have a rep that I can speak to at any time. They respond immediately. They also have a whole program. It's called warming. And this is to prevent and offer support for you to prevent exactly what's going on with GetResponse, of spam, of low open rates, whatever. And they do basically sort of a soft intro with your contacts. So they have you send out a small portion at a time, bit by bit, just so that they can see that your open rate's okay and that it's not a spam and everything's legit and everything's fine, because they want you to succeed. They literally want you to succeed. So they have this warming thing that they do. And you just have constant support. There's no comparison between my experience with GetResponse and Klaviyo. It's night and day. I was able to get all of my 50,000 something contacts into Klaviyo, no issues, completely seamless. And my open rate is over 20% again. And everything is just amazing. Now I'm paying a little more, but is it worth it? Oh my gosh, it's worth it. So just to continue, I don't want to make this too crazy long, but we'll just go back to, you know, when they started rejecting the list and all of the things that happened. I sent them some emails to say basically, what the fuck? And I tried to provide them, you'll see, proof. This is my email to them where I was trying to give them proof. They're like, where did this list come from? Are there IP address associated with this list? And I'm like, yes, Shopify captures all of the IP addresses associated with my emails. So, and do you have validations? Yes. The newsletter where they subscribe, it has validations. And so this is my email to them after they, shut down my account the first time, before they terminated it completely. That happened a month and a half after I gave them over $4,000. I explained everything to them. I gave them screenshots. Hello, my open rate here is 18% and it's not even finished. This is just, it was going up by the minute. It was at 18% and that campaign got up to like 24%. They still shut down my account. How was the list built? So I told them how the list was built. I gave them screenshots of where it came from. I gave them screenshots of how my customers subscribe. I gave them screenshots of how they're validated. I gave them screenshots of the IP addresses and where those are being captured and how they're associated with the emails. I gave them all this proof, all the proof that I could possibly give them. Do you think they gave a fuck? They did not give a flying fuck. Excuse my language, but this company stole $4,000 from me, and I'm now paying a lawyer probably more than that to deal with this. And that's the thing. That's why they don't care about keeping your money, because they don't think that anybody's going to go up against them. Because why would you pay a lawyer thousands of dollars if GetResponse is only keeping, scamming you out of $1,000 or $500 or even $100? Nobody's going to go after them. Well, I'm going after them because I have a legal team and I have enough money to do so. And I'm just not going to lay down while somebody steals over $4,000 from me. So I've tried to show you as much as I can here about my experience with them, but they're absolute thieves. They're absolute scammers. I invite you, everybody, to go check out this list, read the reviews from SiteJabber, because they're all really similar to mine. I think they have a lot of lawsuits against them, and they have stolen a lot of money from people. So go to Klaviyo, go to Mailchimp. Go anywhere but GetResponse. It's funny. One of the reviews is, you get anything from GetResponse but a response or something like that. But it's like you don't even get a response from them. You get something at 2 or 3 in the morning from a pathetic compliance team that doesn't give a shit about your business and doesn't want to help you at all. They're looking to just shut down your account and keep your money. You know, I don't know, and I'm not IT savvy at all. I don't know shit about servers or whatever. I have to wonder if, you know, are there servers overseas and that's why all my emails are going to spam? Is that a possibility? I'm not sure. But without question, your emails will mostly go to spam. At least over 50% for sure will go to spam, even if you integrate everything correctly. And that's what everybody's saying in these reviews. So go anywhere but GetResponse. And feel free to email me if you have any questions about this or want to tell me anything about your experience. info@digestivewarrior.com. I wish you the best of luck. And I'm trying to end this video and I apologize because it's not allowing me. Anyway, best of luck.